Welcome back, everyone, to game number 2 between Burden United and Team Empire. Burden taking game 1. That's quite a surprise to most people out there. Dota 2 Lounge had their odds down as 86 to 14. Let's see if Burden can make the 2-0 sweep or whether Team Empire can come back into it. Joining me today, Nahaz. What's going on?
Oh man, we are the 14%. Twitch chat is rocking. Lots of people's rares are on the line in this matchup, and Empire needs a win in the second game to split the series.
Well, let's see how they do. Burden start out by banning Axe. We've seen Yoki play that a fair bit. Empire, though, Chen first ban. Is this a response to Come With Me and his, past endeavors on that hero? Because back in Dota 1, even early days of Dota 2, Come With Me was a Chen player, if not one of the Chen players of Europe.
Yeah, Chen is also like 67% in the last 30 days. He's by far the highest hero win rate with over 100 games. So, and especially I think... actually, Chen is pretty strong on both sides right now. So anyway, I do not have a problem with that being a first ban. But Empire are going to go right to what worked for Burden in the last matchup, picking up that Troll Warlord. Generally, that's been Silent that's played Troll. He's 8-1 on that hero in this patch. But don't completely rule out Resolution taking that hero in the mid lane, although I'd expect that they would pick him something a little bit more suited to his playstyle.
Yeah, definitely. Troll is more of a silent hero. You get that early lane dominance, you farm up a decent amount, but you can also dive towers. He loves grouping up with one of his supports or two of his supports and diving that offlaner over and over again until they give up and head into the jungle. Burden, Vengeful Spirit first pick, something we haven't seen over the past couple of games. In fact, I'm not sure I've seen it today, is Lion. What's happened to Lion?
5 seconds remaining.
Well, Lion's fallen off. I mean, he's still really strong. He's fallen off a little bit.
Reserve time.
I don't know that he's really changed or that he's bad, but he's certainly a very squishy support in a very physical damage oriented meta. And like you've seen, there are just other options that teams are exploring in terms of that really powerful single target lockdown. You saw Burden run the Beastmaster on Come With Me last game. I mean, the meta is still very much wide open. People don't. I think anybody that's talking as if the 6.83 meta has settled down really isn't looking at the numbers, because frankly, Clockwork is the best example. He had over a 60% win rate last month, and he's 15-30 so far in March. So teams are still very much experimenting.
Yeah, and especially new teams, when you bring in a couple of new players. I've seen this in the Asian division of MLG, where MVP Phoenix, to be more precise, they're definitely trying out all these different hero picks and seeing what fits with them. But something they always go back to is, that one core lane that they pretty much invented and that they've always made work is that Wisp Bristleback. So having a match of heroes that can actually transcend rosters and follow one player through to then pair up with another player is definitely something that I'm looking out for more and more, especially with teams like Burden United, because obviously you've got Sing Sing, Soshka, and Come With Me, who are they're the old guard. They've been playing for years. Sing Sing maybe not as much as Soshka and Come With Me, and then Necroman, Mynut's relatively new to the competitive scene. They're bringing a lot of raw talent, but it's really that backbone of, I feel, Come With Me and Sing Sing, where they know what's going on.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, that's the same formula that Empire has ridden to success. Yoki and Aloha Dance, definitely on the younger side, less experienced, new to the scene, incredibly talented, and then Always Want to Fly, Resolution, and Silent. Resolution is still fairly young, but definitely Always Want to Fly and Silent, two very, very hardened veterans. And you're going to see with all the roster turnover, that's going to be really important. There's a lot of young talent out there right now in the scene, but you need these veteran players to sort of be the glue guy on these squads.
Yeah, third ban out there is Batrider from Empire. Don't want to give that to Sochka this game. They've had quite enough of that nonsense. But what we'll be looking at here, because the Vengeful Spirit Earthshaker is a really strong, early, dominating support lane. You've got potentially the kills on the offlaners if Earthshaker is up there with the Venge +1. And Earthshaker is this dynamic hero that can move around, guard bounty runes for your mid, and also defend both safe and mid, whereas Vengeful Spirit will want to stack and pull, keep things rolling there, but they're not showing their hand. Anything is possible right now for Burden.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's a mistake to give away the Vengeful Spirit and Earthshaker
Dire team
combination
banned.
as another team's 1-2. They're the top two supports this month, and it just gives away almost
Team
no
Empire's
information
turn to
about your
pick.
draft. Now, coming back with this Shadow Fiend, this is going to be interesting. This will probably be Necroman Shadow Fiend mid, but I've seen Sing Sing play the Shadow Fiend in the past very successfully as well. So I wonder if they might not switch things up a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see, like, Necroman has been their mid player. Sing Sing playing
Right,
the one
right.
role pretty confidently right now. It gives him that fallback that,
10
mid
seconds
lane he's been
remaining.
known to play slightly over aggressively, and that just, tips him over the edge and things can snowball out of control emotionally. But Necroman doesn't seem to have that. He's very cool, calm, and collected, and Sing Sing has that safety net, where if he's on safe lane, he'll have a support there. He'll have some form of fallback, so if he does step out of line or, get a little over-aggressive, there's someone there to pull him back in, reel him in.
Yeah, and we should also mention Aloha Dance has just been absolutely phenomenal. Actually, both Empire supports are amazing on this Rubik. Not too many teams I think would pick up Rubik as their second overall in a draft these days, but Empire definitely a team that can get away with that, and it's just also a way of not giving away too much information. Wow, the
Dire
third
team
pick Ogre.
I was expecting the AA or something like that.
Yeah,
AA,
exactly.
AA Sand King, a slightly greedier support,
Oh.
but are they just going to run at people here?
But you brought it up, though, in the first draft that Empire has also been trying out different heroes on the off lane. Yoki has really, after this was one of the criticisms, in fact, when I was talking to a couple people on the scene about Yoki
10
early,
seconds
he
remaining.
was definitely showing some talent when he first joined this Empire roster, but there were a lot of
5
people that
seconds
questioned his
remaining.
hero pool. He didn't necessarily look comfortable when he was playing heroes for the first time. Still, I
Reserve
really do
time.
wonder the possibility of an offlane ogre has to at least be in Burden's mind right now.
It's a possibility, isn't it? That's probably going to be Soshka on offlane Brewmaster, I want to
Oh
say.
yeah, yeah. He played that excellently the other day against Nip, and I would be very surprised if they went with anything else. I mean, certainly Brew still a respectable mid, and depending on, I don't think Team Empire has picked their mid hero yet, so depending on the matchup, you might decide to switch that up. But yeah, after what Sakshika did the other day on this hero, I think you give him another chance to rock for sure.
Because then you've got, a kind of utility magic damage dealer in the Shadow Fiend. He can definitely
Oh
fight into the
boy.
mid lane.
Dire
Brewmaster
team
creates a
banned.
lot of chaos. So Burden can potentially go for a super hard carry here. They can go something that can go the distance up against Troll, up against Lena.
Well, and Empire, I really like what they've done with this draft because now it's pretty difficult for Burden to call exactly
10
what the lanes and
seconds
roles are going to
remaining.
be. We've seen Lena recently have a good amount of success as a mid. Dendi played her very,
Team
very capably
Empire's
yesterday
turn
in a
to
loss
ban.
to Empire, but I've seen Resolution run his mid Lena, and this is scary. I mean, especially against a Shadow Fiend who's relatively squishy early on, vulnerable to getting roamed on. That Lena can really get off a couple of kills
10
against Shadow
seconds
Fiend when
remaining.
she gets that level 6 and make things really, really hard for that opposing mid.
5 seconds
I'm
remaining.
wondering if Empire go aggressive tri-lane here. Because this is something I've seen before from them. Almost this
Yeah.
draft,
Time.
but with the Troll and then Rubik. I've seen it with a Tusk, though. If the Lena goes mid and then the Ogre goes like safe lane or something oddball like that, then I can see them going. They could even go aggro with the Ogre Rubik control potentially. Then have Lena up against the Brewmaster bot lane, and then pick
Well,
something now against the SF. But when a PL's picked up for Burden, man, oh man, what do you have to deal with it?
Hero. Here's your Sing Sing hero, and they ran almost this combination the other day, and this was their first game against Nip, where Sing Sing played the PL and just absolutely went ham. PL, a completely different hero now. Obviously, after the rework, he's a skirmishing hero. He likes to fight. He's not a split pushing hero anymore.
10
This is a
seconds
scary
remaining.
lineup by Burden, and back to your point about the tri lane, I don't really like
5
Lena in a
seconds
tri lane
remaining.
just because I feel like she's extremely XP dependent. And I worry that
Reserve
going
time.
aggro try with this Empire lineup could really gimp the support's ability to contribute in the early mid game. But we'll see. The last pick for Empire is gonna. There's a lot of information left to be determined. They still have a lot of flexibility here in terms of how they want to play this.
Yeah, I was definitely seeing Lena go into maybe a solo safe lane role against the Brewmaster. She does really well up against the Brew. not too much he can do apart from spam out Drunken Haze and level up Drunken Brawler, try and last through the right clicks. But Ogre is a decent aggressive try hero. He can just run at people non-stop.
I guess the thing now though is that if you're going to aggro tri-lane, you're probably, what does that leave the troll solo mid? And that's not necessarily a hero that Resolution has played a lot of.
True. He's played it a bit here and there, but yeah, we came back to this is a silent hero.
Yeah, they may end up going in that direction, but I have to think that as this draft was taking shape, that's not necessarily what they were planning on. Okay, and they are going to go ahead and pick up the Ember Spirit, which didn't work for them in the last game, but again, it's the synergy isn't really there with the Troll to me and the Ember Spirit, but it's hard to argue with this hero when oh man, it's going to be an off-lane Ember. And are they gonna they gonna tri lane?
Safe lane Ember and then aggressive tri lane. Yeah, this is what I was looking at. Ogre, Rubik, Control. Go aggro tri. Then I thought maybe Yoki plays Lina bot up against the Brewmaster, playing the Ember Spirit down there. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Well, I mean, against a Brew, Brew is really, really hard on melee heroes in general, and potentially Ember Spirit in particular. I haven't played a lot of that lane. I imagine you go ahead and go into your Flame Guard, and that should protect. It should provide you with a fair bit of protection for the clap. Oh, that sounded pretty bad.
It took me about half a second to register what was actually just said. Some of the younger viewers won't get it, but that was a sex reference, by the way, guys.
Oh my!
Yes,
thank you. Yes,
I am Captain Obvious. Do not Google that, by the way. Don't go and Google the clap or protection from it. No, you can go and Google protection from it. Go to your nearest clinic, but we'll see the lanes here pan out. Empire, 4 people up on this top rune, while Yoki has to be really wary about where he steps next.
Yeah. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, by the way, shout out to our friend Skim, who actually, if I remember right, was the one that actually came up with Burden's team name over Twitter. Come With Me tweeted out that, hey, the last time I ended up on a team like this, we got named Super Strong Dinosaurs. Please help. I need a better team name. And I think it was Mally that first mentioned something regarding Burden, and it was Skim that came up with Burden United. So shout out to him.
Sing Sing has been left alone up on top. So safe lane solo Phantom Lancer, and then we look at Aloha Dance and always want to fly on the Rubik, and Ogre hiding away in the side shop. Silent playing this troll.
They're going to leave him solo up here.
This is gonna,
or are they just coming down for first blood on the Brew?
He's got Doppelganger, and I don't think they've got enough stuns to kill him. They'll drop him to 150, 200 HP. Like telekinesis into... They've even got Ignite. There is no way they can kill him, actually.
That Doppelganger is just so good.
Yoki, though, gets hit on by the Earthshaker, but this isn't someone you want to meet in the bar. Yoki now going to get stunned up by the Fissure. This will probably be first blood. Come With Me has already expended Magic Missile, but the good body blocks. Eating through the trees, though. Yoki, one more hit. Oh, man. Come With Me. Getting juked. Hiding in the trees. He's surviving. Come With Me. Losing so much HP to the tower. He's actually going to die here. One more hit. Yep. So... from what should have been a clean 1-0, Yoki somehow manages to find a counter kill on to Come With Me.
Yeah, it was just a great little mini juke to lose him in fog in the trees right above that tier 1 tower. That was what created just enough time for the tier 1 tower to get the Venge after Yoki went down. So that start certainly nowhere near as bad as it could have been. And Come With Me, they're going to look to roam mid here.
Look at how high up Resolution is standing. He is on the enemy ramp. He's ready to take top rune, harassing down Necroman. What are we looking at last hit-wise? 7 for 5, so the Shadow Fiend has done an exceptional job up against this Lina. But like you said, the two supports are here. They're ready to go on Resolution now. Come With Me with a Magic Missile, trying. He can't get in range.
Okay.
If they had the Fissure as well, Minots might look to block off Aloha Dance.
Good reaction there by Aloha Dance. Oh, and they're going to take the rune because of it.
Oh, yeah. Rubik's dead now. Light Strike Array not going to hit anyone. Minots and Come With Me both chasing down the Rubik. Resolution might look to turn this around. One more hit takes down that Rubik. And now Fissure, Magic Missile. They do have the stun from Venge just in range. Just coming back up. Yep. Fissure as well from Earthshaker. So quick and easy. 2-0.
I was watching that Earthshaker's mana pool the whole time because he got the mana for that Fissure like 1 second before it came off cooldown. That was a nicely executed start. And once again, Burden United being the ones outplaying Empire in the early game.
Under attack.
Well, it's their laning setup. Like you said, the Aloha Dance was there perfectly early to try and, you know, rebuff what was going on. But Resolution, he was on the enemy ramp. You've got to be expecting someone to come from somewhere. You've got limited to no vision in the enemy, in your own jungle, sorry. Calling it the enemy jungle because you've got 2 supports running rampant through it, finding openings everywhere. But, yeah, Sing Sing on this top lane is going to get harassed down. His Doppel Walk will come off cooldown. Doppel Walk, Doppelganger, Doppelganger.
Yeah, Doppelganger. And that Doppelganger is just so good. I mean, you see people all the time in high-level matches get Manta specifically and try and Manta dodge abilities. I mean, the window that you have, a full second window where you're off the map and can dodge damage with that Doppelganger. That's just so good.
Dodge arrows, dodge stuns. Sleight of fist, Laguna Blade, what are you going to do? Can you touch me? How's Yoki doing down in bot lane? 10 for 0, but Soshka really asserting his dominance down here. 18 for 3.
Oh, big fight up here. Come with me. Probably going to go down to the troll.
Well, he's going to get hit from range, but he needs a couple more clicks. Ignite slowing him down. Looks like the Ogre will finish him off. Sing Sing doesn't have mana for anything left. But neither do the Radiant. Nuts.
Yeah.
No Fissure, no health, no survival. As Always Wanna Fly takes 2 kills there. Sing Sing has somehow walked back in. No. He gets the Doppelganger back. The Ogre dies to the tower. I don't know if that was some next level bait from Sing Sing or if he got super freaking lucky. Silent?
Yeah. I think there might have been a little luck involved in that, and our audience gets to breathe a little bit easier.
Silent?
Silent?
Silent? He stood around taking last hits on... Oh, no. Now
What
come with me.
in
Doesn't
the
have mana for a
world?
stun. Okay, come with
It
me.
was such a weird play. If
Come
he
with me.
stuns there instead of Wave of Terrors, I think he gets the kill easily.
Well, the thing is, Venge stood here. Troll stood here. Troll was hitting creeps and then running around in circles. Then he ran into the side shop. Okay, Soshka dies as I'm explaining this. But I don't know.
That was just bizarre.
That was-
I'm still kind of shaking my head at that play.
One of the strangest things I've seen in a long time. Soshka does die for his efforts on his bot lane, but he's got Boots Bottle. Yoki managing to pull things back a little bit, catch up in terms of last hits. So Burden United, you know, they need to keep making these moves. They need to keep the pressure on just to try and keep Resolution down, limit the timing of that Yules that he gets.
And this is the second straight game where Neckerman has kind of outplayed Resolution mid, and that's pretty, from a guy that's been the best farming mid in this patch, pretty darn impressive.
Oh,
and
man.
Neckerman, a little bit of pressure here, but they don't have anything to follow it up.
Well, there was a Fissure there from my nuts. I'm kind of surprised they didn't try and, you know, block the Ogre up, but I guess when you're in this spot here, it's difficult to try and, you know, find a route, because you're equidistant from both spots that would allow you to get a Fissure across.
Radiant's bottom
Oh man, really?
Oh, wow.
I've got to stop explaining stuff and just watch out for these kills. There's action happening everywhere.
Yeah, these teams are are just looking to go continually, and that's the fun thing about Empire this patch. They play
Aloha?
so aggressive.
He telekinesis up my nuts onto the cliff and thinks, "Oh look, I'm a clever boy," and then gets demolished by the multiple stuns from Burden United. Because my nuts was here defending the rune, gets thrown up onto the cliff, but it broke the trees. So he just walked straight through. Vengeful Spirit and Brewmaster both there to follow up as well. Necroman now the DD on Resolution. A Laguna Blade
Oh yeah,
seals the
there's that
deal.
level 6 kill, and that's what Lena needs to do in this lane, because with her animation, she's gonna have a hard time keeping up in CS. But that burst damage when she just hits level 6 and level 7, level 4 Dragon Slave, 320 damage, and then the 450 from the Laguna, she can get that kill on the Shadow Fiend so easily.
Quite interesting that Sing Sing... Oh, bot lane. Power splits popped.
That's
Aloha
so
Dance now
huge.
being chased down. Stunned up by the boulder toss and caught in the trees. Does he escape here? There's another stun coming out from the Brewmaster, but he's
But he
juking
farms
through. He's, okay,
again.
they've got vision now. They're going to get one more swipe down onto him, but this puts Soshka into a really tough situation where Yoki has Searing Chains. He's got Flame Guard.
Always Want to Fly might be in trouble here top too.
Yoki stunned up down the bot, gets taken out. The aggressive play there, back up top. Always Want to Fly stunned up by Minuts. Always Want to Fly has spotted out the stacks though. So he knows.
Oh, Resolution got sniffed out coming up the ramp, and Necroman is going to solo kill him.
Was that triple raise? Double raise.
Yep.
And
Double
Resolution
raise.
falls.
And again, the squishiness goes both ways. You know, we talked about Lena being able to bring down Shadow Fiend with her burst damage, but she gets double, triple raised. She's dead.
And then Necroman walks up to the
stack.
stacks.
Still hanging out up here.
He's leeching experience from the large camp.
Yep.
But bot lane, Yoki has died 3 times right now. This is a safe lane Ember Spirit that's getting crushed. Does he have a Spirit? He's got a Remnant, but it's so freaking slow. He's got to keep on running. Throws another one down, bottles up, and he should be fine for now. But he's expended almost all of his bottle, 2 of his Remnants, just to escape from, he got out of position by about 200 range.
Yeah, I thought Venge had just a little bit more mana there, and they could convert that kill, but still, he's forced out of lane again.
Up at top, Silent on this troll, hunting down Sing Sing, who gets stunned by Always Wanna Fly. Sing Sing has no mana left. But Earthshaker kills Silent first. Mindnuts is here, blocking in the 2 supports. So if we see anyone TP up here... Okay, maybe not. Maybe not with a telekinesis destroying the trees. No. Necroman kills Resolution 1v1 again. Wow.
It's been a while since I've seen Resolution get this thoroughly outplayed 1v1 mid, but I mean, Lena SF is kind of a difficult matchup CS-wise, but it's not just the CS. I mean, Necroman is doing such a good job with his positioning and anticipating Rez's movements.
I want to come back to Sing Sing's item build. Ring of Basilius and Soul Ring. So Soul Ring Tranquil Boots was something that we used to see quite a lot with Radiance PL, but that was back when, you stack up a whole bunch of illusions and you split push lanes, farm the jungle with the Radiance. Now, I've been talking to quite a lot of, ex-pros and professional players. Always Want to Fly, gets stunned up. The Fisher blocking Silent out, but he Quelling Blades through the trees. They're chasing Mindhouse pretty deep. They don't know what's coming up behind them, though. Vengeful Spirit and Shadow Fiend both here. Rip Silent to shreds with the magic damage. Even the Requiem's thrown out. It's Always Want to Fly. Always Want to retreat as he gets swapped back into another raise of Necroman.
Yeah, and that is just flat out overextension by Empire there. There is no need for them to be going that deep trying to get a kill on a solo Earthshaker.
Right, Sing Sing's item build. Quite often nowadays, with the way PL has been sort of retooled, he's been given the new Doppelganger, he's been given a couple of new skills with that sprinting ability, whatever it's called, Phantom Rush.
Yep.
He really does excel with early stat items. His item build, he fits really well into the current meta where, you build Sound Yasha, Diffuser Blade, get a bunch of agility and strength, and you just continue fighting. But I'm not sure where Sing Sing is going with this. Soul Ring is good at just spamming out. He was against, a kind of tri-lane up against him.
Yeah, it is a really unusual build for sure. The Basilius obviously, and even the Aquila is fairly standard, but the Soul Ring, gosh, it's almost like an EE game. Soul Ring on random hero.
Soul Ring first.
Yeah, but I mean the spammable Spirit Lance is still really good. That much is still true even since the rework. But I don't know that it's worth getting that over a couple stat items to add to your sustain, make your illusions a little tankier.
Yeah, finish off Ring of Aquila, then build up treads or something like that. But I guess look at that, Sing Sing using a 20-second cooldown there to dodge Ignite.
Yeah, certainly he has been making good use of spamming his abilities. So, and that's kind of the fun thing to me about watching a hero like this right after a rework is that his item builds and skill builds are still very much an open matter. There's still a lot of disagreement among very, very good players how to play him optimally.
Silent is taking so much harass here. Drops to half HP just from a couple of lances. And this has now become an off-lane troll. The supports don't really want to be up here. Always Want to Fly is roaming around through this jungle, but he's not going to find anyone. Places a deep ward there by the pull spot.
Lohadance might be in some trouble here. He's got Earthshaker coming in from behind him. That's the block. Easy kill. Oh no, they get the lift off!
Well, still, the Promise Split now comes out. They're chasing down Lohadance, but are there other targets to find? Necroman with the Yule. Straight up, Requiem of Souls down to Yoki. One more raise, but he doesn't have the long-range one. Remnants now from Yoki down to the rune spot. He's going to jump away. He's going to deny himself to Roshan. No. Healing up. TP. He's out. He's free.
Oh, man. And that was a split-second thing. He used a remnant to dodge the enchant totem from the Earthshaker as he was first running away through the Radiant jungle. He missed that and he would have been dead.
What are we looking at net worth-wise? Almost 6,000 up on the Shadow Fiend. And then the Brewmaster, who's been in pretty much a 1v1. Oh man. Resolution.
Yeah, he's got his Yules at 1230, and he's going to have his Blink pretty quickly here thereafter. And yeah, he's in some serious trouble.
See ya. What do you do to combat this? You smoked up a couple of heroes and heading into the dire jungle.
It has been a while since I've seen Resolution have two really tough games like this back to back.
Okay, they don't have problems with
the rebuttal. Yeah, they're going to get the rebuttal kill on the Brew here, but I just don't know that that's enough. I mean, Necroman is just off to a huge lead right now.
The one thing we do have to say, though, is that neither team has a great Roche-taking lineup. Sure, Empire has Troll, but they're Radiant side. They've got to try and take a fight or take a couple of towers, maybe even team wipe Burden United before they can take it, I want to say, because the reaction from BU is going to be spot on. They've got 2 tier 1s, just to TP there and get into the pit. Then you've got Sing Sing, who is dropping himself super low to throw the last lance and getting a kill. TP 2,600 gold up on Sing Sing. It's not going to be Radiance, is it?
Surely not. Okay, the Vlads. I really like that as an item choice.
Thankfully. So Treads and Vlads.
Yeah.
That's pretty standard for the current PL to go Treads, Vlads, and then Diffusal Blade.
Again, he is a skirmishing hero right now. And that Vlad's, again, the illusions, of course, do benefit from that aura. That's a really big deal on that hero in terms of just his ability. He actually does a decent amount of physical burst damage with all the illusions, and really this meta is very much about that.
So Aloha, he's been trying to get into this into the dire jungle along with Yoga to try and play some aggressive wards just to see where exactly Burden are stacking up, where they're getting their gold from. But actually contesting this it's just impossible.
No.
Oh no. No Resolution, no!
Oh, please, no. I really do wonder if he's playing with a bit of ping, because he has been just a magnificent individual player this patch, and he's had his problems in these last few games. Of course, a lot of that is Necroman is just, boy, he is showing off his talent in a big way. So impressed with this kid.
And now he's got some agents to take. Silent is staring down that Roche pit, but there's no real way he can actually enter there and do anything. No lifesteal yet, he's going for Helm of the Dominator, but item progression is close to nil. As we look at the net worth, 7,000 almost up in the SF, then the next 2 heroes, the PL is second in net worth right now.
Yeah, it's really, really scary, especially given that net worth advantage and the fact that you've got a level 11 Shadow Fiend with Yules already at this point in the game. Just the damage that he can do if you're a troll and just kind of try and sneak into that Roche pit. I mean, he can kill you 1v1 so easily unless you get that hugely lucky bash.
What do you consider building on Yoki here? Because you're dealing with so much lockdown, the Yules from Shadow Fiend, Fisher from the Earthshaker. Do you try and go into Battle Fury still? Do you go for something more mid-game oriented like Maelstrom? We haven't seen that in a long time. But this is a safe lane Ember Spirit, remember. This is a hero that should have items by now. He's got Treads, Bracer. Treads on an Ember Spirit.
I still feel like you probably have to build into the drum. I mean, he needs stats so badly, even though that item, God, I hate the fact that item has just been nerfed into the ground. I think you can argue for the Maelstrom, but again, where's his sustain going to come from in these fights? Maelstrom is certainly always going to be good against a PL to clear out that army of illusions, even if it's not the split pushing concern that it once was. But I really feel like he's got to think a little bit more defensively. Ember Spirit still has a lot of damage from his abilities. His thing is going to be surviving through these fights.
So the go is called. Battle Trance is popped as Silent heads back into the jungle. But how do they take objectives? Silent is now resorting to farming his own jungle. He's been offlane for quite some time as Yoki takes up the role at top, and Silent tries to bring up his GPM. But when you looked at Sing Sing on this PL, you thought, oh look, that's a relatively easy target. He is now the 3rd highest level in the game. 11 on the SF, and now 11 on Sing Sing. Second highest. What?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, this is the lead. The overall lead is not that large, but this is a really desperate situation for Empire. This could make up for a lot of it. They can find Sing Sing, but it just PL's so hard to kill right now.
Sing Sing is juking around. He's got illusions chasing down the ogre, hunting through the Radiant jungle as his own hero, leeching experience, taking gold, farming up this bot lane.
And I feel like I've said this so many times already, but Burden United just playing with absolutely no fear. I mean, Sing Sing knows he's against 2 heroes down in this lane on the PL, but I mean, he doesn't care. And meanwhile, 3 of them are going to go mid. Resolution could die again. Oh, goodness.
Could die, will die. Always want to fly, is actually going to run in here and get hit by the Requiem and another raise from Necroman. Boy. Aloha Dance steals Thunderclap. Not really the spell you really want as a Rubik. Getting into the midst of things isn't his forte.
Yeah, this SF, I mean, he's got Blink Dagger if he wants it. Oh, boy.
16 minutes.
This is a problem. Yules and Blink at 16 minutes on a level 12 Shadow Fiend.
Like, I look at Shadow Fiend so often and see, you know, he's gone 0-3, 0-4. The early pressure has got to him and he started dying. In this game, it's the complete opposite. In games where, you know, he feeds away a couple of kills early, he can still come out with a 20, 22 minute Blink Yules or Blink BKB.
Well, yeah, he's got that built-in flash farming comeback mechanic, right? Raising in the jungle. But, I mean, this is the reason why you run Alina against the Shadow Fiend mid is you're trying to make him have that 0-3, 0-4 start. You're trying to make him respect that burst damage and maybe feed a couple extra early kills. Initiation again here bottom, and boy, Ogre.
They're even going to pop the Primal Split. As Ogre's going to get cycloned up. They're chasing down Silent on the Troll, in fact. Nope. Bring the Ogre back down. Take the quick and easy one as they back up. Aloha Down's looking for the Courier, maybe. A couple of hits. Well, they don't see it. Yoki going to jump back out there as Resolution gets caught again. The Phantom Rush bringing those illusions closer and closer, but Rubik, stolen Primal Split, goes back on the Necroman. Sing Sing, Silent even is fighting through against this SF. Takes a massive amount of damage from the dying breath of Shadow Fiend, but Sing Sing is here, cleaning up house as 3 are dead from Empire. More to follow as the Aloha Dance comes back out of the split. And Yoki trying to get whatever he can at the end of this, but Sing Sing keeps on going. Come with me, healing himself up with the urn. Yoki, no remnants, no mana, no health.
Clean up on ILU. Goodness gracious. Sing Sing, the beneficiary of them focusing Shadow Fiend. Oh,
okay, always want to fly, killed Vengeful Spirit, but that's... Oka died at the beginning. That's 6 people dead. That's a team wipe +1.
Yeah. I am having a hard time telling a story for how Empire gets back into this game. I mean, what a performance so far by Burden. I mean, many rares were lost on that day, folks.
I don't know. It's not like they have...
Look at the gap. Just from that last fight, look at the gap that Sing Sing's opened up. Net worth-wise.
Yeah. He was sitting, you know, even-ish with a couple of other heroes. Now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, 1,500 lead on pretty much everyone else. Well, bar the Shadow Fiend. I'm just going to ignore him up at the top. The peaks of wealth the Shadow Fiend really does enjoy up there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's almost like Necroman's in a pub right now and says, "Okay, you guys want to focus me? I'm pissed off. I'm just going to go farm a BKB." Well, that said, here's the other way you can protect yourself from death.
It's not like Empire has excellent scaling heroes as well.
Well, I mean, it is. You still do have that comeback mechanic in place, and you still do have, in particular, 2 heroes and a Troll and an Ember Spirit that, you know, they get lucky and get 3 or 4 kills in one fight, and they can make such good use of that burst
Yoki,
gold.
Echo Slam. Okay. They managed to finish him off before the TP reaction comes in, but Yoki, okay, he's got a couple of remnants. Silent might not be as lucky as Paris. Blinks, claps, and gets the promise split. No. If he gets bashed here, he's going to die before he can split. He gets it off.
Oh my
Just
goodness.
in time. I can't believe that actually happened. Aloha That's now going to get focused down. Cyclone onto the Ogre as the Yules onto Silent. Necroman trying to battle through this. A couple of heroes here are going to die for Empire. They get the Earthshaker. Wow. But they're going to lose so much more.
Nasty swap there. Putting Silent right back next to Necroman is that as that Requiem went off. And yeah, just the far superior execution here by BU. I mean, you saw even with the pickoff early on, the TP support comes in and they just go.
Burden United on the verge of taking this 2-0 against Empire, who've been looking so strong recently. Sing Sing is going to get chased down here by Yoki, but look at that doppelganger. Jumps straight back out of battle, getting chased down still with a Flame Guard on Yoki. Whose Yules is that? Lena's? Okay, they get Lena's Yules. Oh my god, Sing Sing. Charges down Resolution, drops into 100 HP with the illusions. The mana burn, man oh man. Even 1 versus 3, Sing Sing making things happen. Is silent in mid lane. Stunned up, and Necroman with a blink forward. Great plays by him, getting the extra damage there from raises and right clicks. Losing Sing Sing for silent, you know, you're giving away a bit of gold. The lead that Sing Sing had managed to build up is taken back away, but Paris. Primal Split is not stolen by Rubik this time, but it's still on cooldown for Soshka. As Come With Me is sliced and diced by the Ember Spirit on the back end. They're also going to get finished off there. Soshka, but Necroman has joined the fray. No mana on the Ember Spirit. Raises, and right clicks. I don't know. You kill the Vengeful Spirit, but you lose, what, 2 heroes there in the Rubik and Ember Spirit? It's just not... They're taking unfavorable engagements and coming out worse in trades.
And there's the BKB on the Shadow Fiend. 21 minutes, Yules, Blink Dagger, BKB. What can they do about Necroman? He is coming for your base right now. And look at the, I mean, 2 random Empire heroes just kind of smoked in the jungle, hoping for something.
They can get Aghanims on Lina? Question mark?
Yeah, really.
I don't know, because, oh man, really? Silent demolished.
Well, there's your Yules build, kids. Holy crow.
Sing Sing is getting picked off here, though. He's got a couple of oh no! Resolution missed the Light Strike Ray, but never mind. Laguna Blade nukes Sing Sing down to an inch of his life, and then a couple of right clicks finish him off. Mynuts is prepping herself possibly for an Echo Slam here. Who's TP's in? Yoki. Yules up into the air. Mynuts throws the Fisher and blocks him off. Okay, they're going to just retreat from this tier 2 and back up.
Yeah, there's just no reason for them to take the risk right here, fight without Sing Sing.
I don't think they've got a choice, as Yoki jumps forward, finds Mynuts. Man! Paris jumps in with a Primal Split, finds Yoki and eviscerates him as always on a fly, still chasing Mynuts. The urn down on him isn't going to be enough as the healing urn comes out from Come With Me to try and save him. Where is this Split? Split is still chasing Rubik. Although Hardhan's being dived onto the tier 2 tower. Nice blink there from Paris, though. Doesn't want to get caught by Resolution.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Empire can't know this, but it ends up being, despite the fact that they lost, not a bad idea for them to take that fight before Necroman's BKB is out on the courier, but they still can't win it even with Shadow Fiend without a BKB.
And they're just killing supports. Over and over again. Sure, they get the Sing Sing kill just there, but he was off on his own, pushing down mid lane. Yeah. In the actual fight.
They're killing supports and they're giving away Yoki. I mean, 6 deaths on an Ember Spirit, 7 deaths on a Troll, 6 deaths on your Lina at 23 minutes. It's just so detrimental. I mean, these are not, with the exception of the Ember Spirit, these are not necessarily flash farming heroes.
Yeah, Lina 1-6, Troll 1-7. And it's pretty much reversed on BU. 10-2 on the SF. 6-2 on the Brewmaster. Even Come With Me is 6-5.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Lina certainly, okay, it sounded a little silly. Lina definitely with the flash farm potential, but 25 minutes into the game is not what you want your Lina concentrating on solo farming a lane. 25 minutes is when Lina is supposed to be doing her damage in fights.
Yeah. This is the time when you really want to be looking for kills and then farming afterwards. But they've been backed into a corner so hard that they need to find the farm and then go for kills. So they're just going to be stuck in this perpetual cycle where, okay, we need to farm more. We're now in a position where BU are jumping on us and killing us. Oh god, we need to farm even more. And it just ends up being them being engaged on like this, where they're going out to try and clear a creep wave. Necroman. No, that was actually Resolution. Yulesing himself doesn't want to get caught out by Necroman's Yules into Requiem.
Yeah, it has started to feel inevitable here. The Battle Fury pickup by Yoki is going to help. But the question is, are Empire going to be able to find any space on the map at this point?
Well, Silent found space up on top, but that was surely closed out in quick fashion here by Minos and Come With Me. Yules up into the air. Minos still sticking around, even though he did get a few swipes to the face from those hatchets.
I mean, how many times now have we seen that in this game? The BU support's just able to sort of delay just long enough for Necroman to get up there and clean house.
Far too often. Far too often. Resolution might be looking for Sing Sing down here. He's got that DD rune, so they know which one is the real one. It's just a matter of catching him and killing him before he can jump away. Fisher was stolen by the Rubik, so that's a great one. That was easy.
Yeah, I almost feel like at this point, obviously the kill on the PL is big, but I almost feel like it doesn't count unless you kill the SF. There's the swap, but no way.
Well, Come With Me swaps the Shadow Fiend in, thinking, well, I don't want to die here, but he's still walking into someone. Aloha Dance, Telekinesis, oh, the Fisher to start off, and now Telekinesis him back into Yoki. Searing Chains, not even thrown out. Requiem. Sleight of Fist does finish him off. Aloha Dance now going to be the collateral, as they get a 1-for-1. Maybe even 2-for-1 here. Always want to fly in the wrong place and wrong time.
Yeah, crazy. I think you caught that just because of the timing and positioning of the swap, for a minute I thought that Vengeful Spirit was playing for Empire, but that was good anticipation.
Resolution has been signaled out. Oh man, she's just dead.
Goodbye.
She's got her own Yules, and that's what Necroman was trying to bait out. Now he has no disable, but Minos does. With a Fisher, a couple of raises, can't get himself into the pathing. Resolution turns around and hits him. Keeps on hitting him, but another stun from Minos does allow Necroman to finish him off. The pathing there for the Shadow Fiend, though, you could see he was spinning around in circles, trying to find that direct line for the raises.
Yeah, boy, any more pathing fixes, and you click on the ground, and your hero's gonna have a seizure.
You'll click on the ground, you'll end up in League of Legends.
Oh, Dirk.
Oh, did I go too far? Did I go too? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Bad for me, man. But I'm gonna be watching chat in a couple minutes.
How dare you flame the mighty Ice Frog? No, Valve have done a good job over the years.
For sure.
Except with the pathing. Bring back Warcraft 3 pathing. That must have been like one of the most nuts things to code, though. 12, 13 years ago, coding Warcraft 3 AI and pathing. Back in those days, who the hell thought of that stuff?
Well, I don't know, but it worked. That's kind of the bottom line.
It wasn't fancy, but it worked.
That you called for on Lena a little while ago, but boy.
Always want to fly. He just has no mobility now. Aloha Dance does get swapped back by Come With Me into the midst of a myriad of illusions there from Sing Sing. Tier 2 shortly taken down here by BU. Answer from Empire. Sleight of Fist. Oh, Necroman. Does he find it? No. Oh, I thought he found him there. Yules was still on cooldown, and Defensive Remnant's always going to be a possibility from the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, I do have to give Yoki credit for as rough of a start as he has. He has come back nicely, getting to 10k net worth. He's now ahead of Sing Sing. He's got his Battle Fury, making progress toward that Daedalus. But until he gets that Daedalus up, he just is not doing enough damage to make any real impact on these pushes. And it's going to be a free Roche here for Burden.
I was wondering what Minox was doing over here. I guess he was just scouting out to see if anyone farms large cap. There's a Dar Observer up on that cliff as well. But he's just going to be running around, seeing if Empire want to try and contest.
Yeah, and a nice pickup there on the BKB by Saksha. He's really drawn a lot of attention in these fights, and he's generally gotten the splits off, but we've seen how close it's been. I think that's a good item right now. The discretion is the better part of valor. Get that BKB up, be assured of presence in that fight. In those fights.
It's just a little bit sad that BKB doesn't stop it from being stolen. Rubik has managed to steal Promise Split at least once this game and had some reasonable success with it. But another tier 2 falling. There's one outer tower remaining here for Empire as basic... Oh my god, no. No! Burden United are on the rampage and looking for high ground. Every time.
Yeah, there's no reason that they would stop here.
Every time. I want to say basically unknown. Every single time. Necroman going forward. He gets changed up though. BKB popped. Resolution not going to get hit by the big Requiem. They're just going to get the double, triple raises down. Yule's up from the Lina to try and save her from this, but it just sets up Necroman for the Requiem of Souls onto 2. Ogre and Lina down for the count for about a minute's time. Tier 3 getting hammered away at. What can Silent do?
What can Empire do here to stop him from multiple raxing?
Dire's middle tower.
I don't know.
Radiant's bottom
Like,
tower.
maybe multiple raxing is pushing it a little bit too far because you've still got Yoki with the crit
They're
and...
gonna back. I am really surprised that they're backing. I guess they're just gonna go ahead and wait for the next group wave and go right back in.
This is risky though. If Solskjaer doesn't realize what he's just given to Aloha Dance, this fight could end really badly for Burden. Sure enough, he doesn't have a blink, but he's still got Primal Split. Yule's up now, Necroman holding him out for the duration of this fight. Oh, my nuts. Blinks in and Echo Slams. No Primal Split. Oh, wait, no. He gets it off. Now Cyclone the Shadow Fiend up. He's trying to do as much damage as he can as Yuki's in the back line. Sleight of Fist down, cleaving through everyone. Necro drops to the ground, and now he has the fight up into Silent, into Yoki, and Paris with the BKB. Man, oh man, this Primal Split from Rubik has basically demolished Burden. They can't take racks, they can't take any objectives. Now Necroman gets taken out by a swiftly timed Laguna Blade. They're dead. They can't take racks, and they're losing a couple of heroes here. That was Shadow Fiend's pretty massive streak there, just candy from a baby. Aloha Dance with that steal. Burden didn't know what was coming for them.
He just saved the game. That one steal by Rubik just absolutely saved the game, and very nice by you to catch it there. I had missed that he'd stolen that ability, but with them having split and BU not, you know, I was kind of thinking if both teams have split, BU's got the superior damage output on multiple heroes.
Yeah.
But when Rubik's got split and you're defending high ground in your base and the other team doesn't, that level of control that he's able to exercise over a team fight was more than enough to tip the scales in Empire's favor.
Like cycloning up the Shadow Fiend so he can't get any more, like can't get Requiem off, can't get any more raises down. His right click damage is, you know, pretty nasty as well. But it just allowed Yoki to stand there. Sleight of Fist, run in and fight. Silent, did he buy back actually into that? Yeah. Silent bought back and then ran into the midst of things, so they needed the troll to re-enter the fight as well.
And there's the Daedalus on the Ember Spirit of Yoki. They've got themselves a chance here now in this match. It's still going to be really hard, but they've got themselves a chance, even with an over 10k gold deficit here at the 30-minute mark.
I guess Burden just run down bot lane again. They know that there's no Primal Split on Rubik. They've got all of their ultimates bar Echo Slam, which is 10 seconds off cooldown. There is no reason why you wouldn't just run down bot lane. Take melee racks at the very least and then back off. Maybe you give up the top tier 2 as a trade, but it's well worth it.
Yeah, I mean, looking at their heroes, nobody's really necessarily that close to their next item. I think if you were super close to your next big item on Sing or Necroman, that you might think about waiting a couple of minutes. But if nobody's close to that next major item, yeah, the only thing that you're going to do in hesitating is giving Yoki even more time to catch up on his Ember Spirit.
Dire's top tower.
Even the troll.
Silent desperately trying to get that BKB. He so needs that item for this next fight, and he's not quite going to have it.
I was wondering if they fall for the bait here. The Searing Chains goes down onto the illusion of Solskjaer, but they're not going to waste things like Laguna Blade or anything. But look at how passively... Oh, man. The real one comes in. They're going to catch Resolution stunned up, and can they actually get more damage down? It looks like they're just going objectives. They've taken down melee, they're taking down ranged. Solskjaer is just the distraction. Get the Primal Split in there, try and do as much chaos as you can. But Aloha, oh nice. Very, very nice. Solskjaer realizes he can't give Primal Split away again. Cyclone's up Aloha Dance as he's on the retreat, so there's no spell steal this time. So they take melee racks, then they'll back up. That was the play.
Yeah, it absolutely was. It absolutely was. And you saw Silent finally does finish his BKB, but not in time for that fight. And the timing there was really, really crucial. I think if Silent goes into that with a BKB, with a 10-second BKB charge available, Empire have a much better chance of contesting.
What does Silent have right? Okay, he's finished his BKB.
Yeah.
Yasha, Helm of the Dominator. What's next though? Because you don't really have too much in the way of damage.
Presumably it's going to be MKB, because Necroman just picked up a butterfly a few minutes ago, and they have to have a way to deal damage to that Shadow Fiend.
They're going to smoke up Bloodlust on a bunch of them. Resolution with that Axe and level 3 ultimate could potentially just kill Necroman before he, suffers too much damage back to them. Not going to find anyone in the jungle, though. Sneaky, sneaky. Just walking through the jungle, smoked up, finding someone, looking for someone, but... Burden, they're well aware of what Empire are capable of. They know that if they play too aggressively or farm up, it's that syndrome, It's like one more creep, one more creep. Burden have done a really good job at not falling into that.
Well, and the smoke timing there is just a little bit obvious. I mean, this is something that you see when you look at the stats over time, that a lot of teams, their smokes are really, really predictable. And a good time to smoke, of course, after the enemy has just taken a big objective on your side of the map, you expect them to fall back and split to farm a little bit before they try their next 5-man push. Just a little bit too obvious, I feel, on that smoke timing.
Looks like tier 2 up the top is the next port of call. 100. It's actually in deny range. So Empire could potentially run up and deny this, just to try and limit how much gold is given to Burden. What are we looking at overall net worth-wise? They had about 14k lead, and that's been dropped by about 4,000 by Empire, just with the last couple of fights. But we're still looking at Burden having the strong, dominant lead. But I think the main thing is split over 3 heroes. They don't have.
I mean, so much of that lead is on one hero. That's the big deal, right? I mean, you take away the Shadow Fiend, and really the cores are basically even on both sides.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I was just looking at this and thinking that the Radiant, they've got Ember Spirit with Battle Fury Daedalus, but I guess item-wise, it is split quite nicely across Empire. I thought it was nicer for Burden, but a lot of the physical damage is straight up on Yoki. The items from Resolution especially don't give him too much more teamfight potential. He is basically just solo kill someone with acronyms, Yules up another guy. Whereas Yoki is pumping out physical damage, Silent is kind of a walking ultimate right now. Maybe run at the Shadow Fiend and try and fight him when he pops his BKB, but even then...
But this is where gold distribution matters just as much as gold advantage, because Resolution, you mentioned, he's kind of a one-trick pony right now. He goes in, does that huge single target damage, but if that single target is Necroman, all of a sudden the effective gold lead shifts back in Empire's favor.
True. Courier is flying over the Roche pit, just scouting out to see when the big man respawns, and it's not too long now, 15, 20 seconds or so until Roshan returns to his pit.
Yeah, and so right now I would say that the Aegis is so critical for Burden right now. They absolutely have to have the Aegis on the SF. We're getting to the point where Empire does have the items up. They do have the right hero combination to take him out. And if he gets taken out of the fight, so much of that gold advantage is just gone right off the bat. I mean, Sing Sing hasn't really exploded on this PL. And again, that's what you're going to see now out of a PL. He's not that hugely imposing farming carry anymore because of the short duration on those illusions.
Do you have slots on Necroman though? Do you drop Yules? Do you drop Blink? I don't know what you... Okay, he drops Helm of the Dominator to take it. I was just wondering, you kind of want all of those items. Helm is the only one that you could potentially give up.
Well, he'll have the Courier get that and just take it back, and eventually he will build into Satanic. But right now, the Aegis is definitely the better item.
Yoki nearly getting caught out there, but Defensive Remnant is always going to save him from a Yules. Now, next objective. Did tier 1 at top, tier 2, sorry, at top get taken down? I guess Sing Sing finished that off.
Yeah, and boy, it's kind of scary, but you do have to push a lane here as BU. I don't think that you can sit back and let Yoki get the rest of the way caught up, because this gap between him and Shadow Fiend is not widening, and Sing is just not. Well, again, it's just how the hero works now, but he's having a much harder time creating that separation from the other two Empire cores.
Yeah, Shadow Fiend is a hero that hits a peak, close to 40 minutes, 45 minutes even.
20 to 20 to 40 minutes, Shadow Fiend is something like 60%. After 40 minutes, he's 40% in this patch. Those are the numbers. I mean, he's kind of like a mini anti-mage. He gets his items up, he gets 6 slotted, but where does he go from there?
I knew 45 minutes was pushing it, but when I said I didn't realize it was that much of a difference.
Right? It's dramatic. I mean, this right now, we are at Shadow Fiend's peak, if not a little bit past it even.
And Phantom Lancer is kind of similar. With the new PL,
Exactly.
building up items, he would like to have another tier 3, tier 4 item right now. Just to push the advantage. Resolution sends Necroman into the air, but Soshka thinks better of this. Blinks in, claps, takes that Resolution with a Boulder Toss, but I don't know if they can actually finish him off as Silent. He's trying to get into the back end here, but cycloned up. This is messy. They're holding out the heroes again. Once again, Soshka blinks in and creates chaos. But they're not killing anyone.
Right.
Necroman is dropping low, they're taking down Rax, but Sun runs in and finishes him off. Melee Rax falls. Does Burden run here? Do they try and fight? Oh man, the blink back from the Shadow Fiend just about keeping alive. Sing Sing's still fighting into this, 1 versus 4 almost, as Soshka runs in with a BKB, claps and swipes down a Aloha Dance. Laguna Blade is thrown back into his face, but where are the rest of Burden's heroes?
Rezo burned his ulti there on Sock. Oh my gosh.
And now Necroman gets taken down, but I don't know. Why did he go so far in? Soshka, like you said, got Laguna bladed up. They could have just backed out.
I think that Necroman got a little bit overconfident there when he saw Resolution burn that Laguna blade on Saksha. And I mean, he's still got Satanic once he respawns. So it's not like that sets him back hugely, and he's pretty much 6 slotted anyway.
I just didn't know where to look in that fight. Because there were people
Here you go, Resolution, maybe with a solo kill here on Sing Sing. No. That Laguna.
Still off cooldown.
Still 7 seconds.
But in that fight, I didn't know where to look. There was fights going in front of the racks, in between the racks, to the right of the racks, behind the... You know, there were all these different engagements where Sing Sing was looking at one hero, Necroman was fighting, destroying the actual buildings. Soshka was going 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4 almost with his primal split.
Yeah, they ran the same play. So that's the same play that they ran in the bottom engagement where they got the racks, where Sok just blinked in and tried to cause chaos while the rest of the team hit down the barracks. But I mean, this is just a much different Empire team than it was 10 minutes ago when that happened. This Empire team now has its key items up, particularly on the Ember Spirit, but also the BKB on the Troll. And BU can't just send one hero in and their other 4 heroes hit racks with impunity anymore.
And now they have BKB on the Luna. So they've got the magic communities. That means Necroman can't just run up and use them. They're not going to get cycloned and forced out of the fights by Primal Split. We were mentioning how Shadow Fiend and PL have these inbuilt timers almost. Brewmaster is exactly the same. All 3 of these heroes are hitting their peak or are getting past it. So even with the items they're picking up, like AC on the Brewmaster, PL building up into a heart, nearly completed. Even with these tier 3, tier 4 items, they're not going to be that adept at fighting up against Ember Spirit, Troll. The Lina, to some extent, is able to destroy them.
But the only thing I'd come back with in that argument is that Silent is in the bottom half of the net worth distribution. I mean, he's 3.5k ahead of the Earthshaker here at 43 minutes. And I don't know that the Ember Spirit by himself is going to be enough to bring Empire back into the match. And we've also reached the point where more items on your Lina, I mean, if she gets a damage item, that BKB is going to enable her to stand in the fights and her Fiery Soul do some work. But it's hard. Empire still have a ways to go. They need farm on that Troll to bring him back into this match, I think.
I'm just reading chat, guys. I apologize for the last team fight up on top lane. Yep, camera work was not good. I didn't know where to look.
Yeah, that was a tough engagement. I myself... I mean, it's hard because you get used to sort of clicking around on the minimap, and you can't do that when you're controlling the camera, or you'll give people motion sickness.
Yep. It's something that I definitely have to work on, is camera work during team fights, zooming out at the right time. Like when there's heroes such as Magnus, where he's off camera all the time, and then he blinks off camera to someone who's hiding in the background. Then he skewers them into the middle of the fight, and like, oh crap, he just used RP. But
well, I mean, if you watch streams from top players' perspectives, I mean, you'll notice you'll notice how often they're just clicking around and how infrequently at times their camera's on their hero. I mean, it's not being able to just click to instantly move your camera. Something to get used to. Yeah, I do feel like still Burden here, they've gotten enough. All right, they definitely are at the tail end of their window when their heroes are very, very strong, but they've gotten the 2 melee Raxes, and again, without that next item on Troll, they still have the advantage in this next fight for the last melee Rax.
Resolution has to be careful. The Phantom Rush sends those illusions forward onto Lina. And Aloha Dance throws out the Fade Bolt. So this is the last lane of Rax, really. This is the peak. This is where Birdie United need to close out this game. Paris blinks forwards, gets the crit down and to always want to fly, but there's nothing really further they can throw out to finish him off. And this is a solid Storch defense here from Empire. They know that if they can hold this game out for another 5-10 minutes, if they can hold this one last lane of Rax, they have the heroes, they have the items, and definitely the capability and skill to hold on to this game and possibly even win it in the end. Yoki's stunned up, mana being drained, but again, there's no Hex, there's no silence, there's nothing.
Yeah, that's just for the record, that's the thing I was wondering when Luna bought that BKB. I was wondering if the Hex might not have been better. Because again, her job to me is to take the Shadow Fiend out of the fight.
Well, Resolution gets a stun up onto Necroman, who uses himself back up into the air. Promise Split thrown out.
Oh, but the BKB from Resolution down.
So they're going to try and go in on silent. What's happening over near the Rax though? Sing Sing and Necroman both fighting up. One more hit onto Resolution does take him down. Buys back instantly as the Primal Split is it's just not doing as much as it was before.
Yeah,
silent.
BKB is down. They have to run.
Burden bailing on this. Who's coming in from the side? Aloha Dance. Where are you going? Did he think someone was farming the large camp? Because they're farming the medium camp just north of it.
Again, a third time now they've gone to that play, and for lack of a better term, the defense has adjusted. I mean, Empire is way too big now for them to just send Sakshkin and hope he can create enough chaos to distract them off the Rax. Oh, Always Want to Fly might be in some trouble.
Yeah, he's dead. He's got no buyback for a minute, but he's not really a vital hero in these team fights.
And they're courier spotting the Roche pit. Unfortunately, they've got another 2 minutes to go. A little bit unfortunate on the Roche timer there. I think 10 minutes. Oh wow! The Echo Slam onto Resolution, and he's dead.
That's after buying back, isn't it? Yeah, he's got no buyback for 6 minutes time.
Lord.
And then Requiem was just thrown out, but I'm not sure who they were looking for.
I mean, maybe a celebratory Requiem after that kill under Resolution. 90 seconds now with no buyback. Oy vey. This is going to be a very, very hard hold for Empire here without Resolution.
So no Lina. No big strength. They've still got Yoki with Battle Fury and Deadless, so they've got some physical damage. Battle Trance helps play into this as well. I don't know. Saga gets held down. They've got BKBs. They've got some... they've got something to hold them into this game. What does Aloha Dance steal? Fisher. Okay. They've got another tool at their disposal. Nice swap there from Cohen, taking Necroman back out.
Oh, there's the split, though.
Yeah, Aloha Dance taken down and outside. Now fighting up against Necroman, who BKBs, but is bash lorded into place. Over on the side, though. Yoki buys back into the team fight. Where's he going to be heading, though?
That's just not quite enough.
I don't know. Shadow Fiend's brought back in, TPing in.
Yep.
He's rejoined at the top lane, and it looks like this might be just it. Rax are getting slowly but surely taken out. Yoki stunned up, mana drained. Okay, he's got a remnant. He bails on this one. That's mega creeps. That is now incredibly difficult for Empire to actually defend up against. As Burden, surely you just run. You go back, you look at Roshan, you try and farm your own jungle. You force Empire to defend megas.
Yeah, and I didn't see how much. I'm curious. I didn't see how much Shadow Fiend's gold was at the beginning of that fight when he initially bought back. But they needed every bit of that gold advantage, because if Shadow Fiend doesn't have buyback and then the gold for bots, I don't think they're able to take those objectives. But as it is, mega creeps and only, I believe it's. So as of DAC when it happened, it was 13 times in the last, 1,300 games, something like that. So it's pretty infrequent that a team comes back from mega creeps.
And usually when they do, it's certain specific hero lineups. They've got something like a Naga that's 6-slotted, and they're able to slowly but surely push the momentum back. Tiny Wisp, I want to say, is possibly one of those combinations that's.
Ember is one of those possibilities when he gets stacked enough that can hold off against mega creeps, but the rest of Empire's team, not so much. Yeah, and I think the majority, so I think 10 or 11 of those 13 comebacks from mega creeps were they held out for 2 minutes, so it was basically a base race.
Sing Sing dodging Light Striker in, man fighting Silent, who's getting his mana burnt pretty damn fast. Yoki looking for the counter engage though. Soshka blinks in, claps too, but gets stunned up. He has to put BKB here.
Oh!
And he gets the split off. Resolution BKB, so he's not going to get cycloned or stunned or anything like that, but this is turning into a rout now. Burden have Silent up in the air. Cycloned up. BKB's available, and Sing Sing, I'm not sure. Do you want to really man fight into this? You have Aegis, but fighting up against Troll isn't really where you want to be going. Necroman pops BKB, healing up with his Satanic, turns back and fights up against Silent. The Troll Warlord is sustaining through this for as long as he can, but it's a foregone conclusion right now. 4 are dead for Empire. This looks like Burden are going to take the series 2-0.
Unbelievable. My Rare's Bible Thump. Burden pulls the upset. What a series from them. And yeah, Empire had their struggles, but I gotta say, 4 straight games over Ninjas in Pajamas and wow, and Empire, 2 of the hotter Western teams recently. You gotta think that Burden is legit.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. That's it for D2CL today. You can go and jump over to Cap. He's casting MLG all night tonight on mlg.tv/joindota. I've been Durka. You can follow me on on Twitter at DurkaDota. Nahaz, thanks again for joining me, man. His Twitter handle is at NahazDota. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the night. It's been an absolute pleasure and a surprise to watch Sing Sing and Soshka come back with Come With Me. Necroman and Minot's relatively new, but this team looks like the one to watch out for. Any final words, Nahaz?
No, shout out to Twitch chat. It's been great broadcasting on Twitch again. I always think there's something wrong with me, but I actually enjoy the chaos that is Twitch chat. And thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah, good night, everyone.